are you, Kyle?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
What does it feel to go on of all the journeys that many of the Chicago Cubs went on? Yours is quite unique to blow your knee out in the first week of the season, make it back, and play in the World Series. What is going through your lid right now that you're a champion?
Hasn't really sunk in yet. I'm sure once I get back home and I'm relaxed on the couch and just sitting there, I think it'll sink in. But when you're in the city, everything's still going. The people are coming up to you, saying congratulations and everything. So it just won't. I don't think it'll sink in until I get home.
So I guess the question is, what was the last thing you bought out in public?
That's a good question.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. It's
nice.
They're taking care of us. It's awesome. They really are taking care of us.
And I guess, is this what you were dreaming of, thinking of while you were going through rehab?
I didn't think that I had the opportunity to play, and a lot of credit goes to the training staff with the Cubs, ATI Physical Therapy, who is a big sponsor of the Cubs, and they helped me with my rehab process. My teammates, my family, my girlfriend, everything. It was a really big team effort to get me back because I thought that there was no chance. I just had it in my mind I wanted to get back as soon as I possibly could. And then there was no timetable on that. It was just when would that be?
And you thought it was most likely going to be 2017.
Exactly. I thought it was going to be like the second half, like I'll go play winter ball and then be ready for spring training.
And so walk me through, I'm with Kyle Schwarber of the world champion Chicago Cubs here on the Rich Eisen Show, which I'm sure you know has a nice ring to it right there, Kyle. Walk me through your darkest day, I guess. Walk me through what was a rehab long day where you thought, oh my gosh, what has happened to me here while my teammates are winning baseball games?
Man, so like the first 6 weeks were just miserable. It was whenever the team was home, I'd be at home in our training room, and then whenever the team was on the road, I'd go to ATI Physical Therapy Clinic, and it was just they would make you bend your leg because you have to get the range of motion back, and it just won't go. It feels like it's just stuck there. You're sweating bullets. I made them strap me down to a table so that I couldn't lift my hips, I couldn't move, and I just made them keep pushing until I couldn't take it anymore. And it just wasn't. That wasn't the most enjoyable part of rehab. Let's just say that.
So then, when did you first realize that you had a shot here? That if the Cubs kept winning, keep on keeping on, you had a shot to make the team in the World Series?
Right before Game 3 of the NLCS, I had my doctor's visit down in Dallas, and we type up questions, and that's for me to ask the doctor. And at the end of it, I put World Series with a question mark just to kid around. Mm-hmm. So I get there, doctor starts checking out my knee and everything. He's like, man. He's like, let me see your knee again. And he starts doing it really hard, trying to push it and everything. And he's like, man, your knee's really solid and your quad's really strong. And he's like, I know you guys are working on history right now. So he's like, if you want to maybe pinch hit DH, I'm not going to hold you back. Like, I didn't even have to ask the question. He was like, I'm not clearing you, but I'm not going to hold you back. So I was like, excitement hit me right there. So I texted, Theo, and I was like, hey, can you just give me a call whenever you get a second? And he gave me a call, and he knew about the visit already. And I was like, man, I just want an opportunity. As a competitor, I want an opportunity to try to do something for my teammates, for the organization, because if I didn't try, it would kill me deep down inside knowing that, I didn't try it, at least. Like, there was no guarantees going into Arizona, knowing, like, getting in the fall league and everything, there was no guarantee that I was going to play in the World Series. You know, it was still like a trial. It was the trial, and there was a lot of work behind that too.
Kyle Schwarber of the Cubs joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. And I got to know from my own life, Kyle, moments like, wedding, birth of kids, first day of SportsCenter, first day on NFL Network, first day in this chair of this show. You know, it's moments that I've always thought about my whole life, and then I'm living them, right? And it's kind of like out of body. What in the world was it like stepping into that batter's box, game one of the World Series, after you went through everything you've just described for everybody?
It was a little scary. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, nervous, and every kind of feeling that you would have in a big situation, I was feeling it. But the funny thing was, after the first pitch, it was like, all right, let's go. Like, I'm fine. So then it was just a straight-up battle. I put in a good at-bat, and then I struck out, and I went back and looked, and I'm like, man, I'm right on it. I feel good. I got 3-2, and he made a good pitch on me. So I felt like I was in a good place from pitch one.
And just the stories that I'm hearing, reading online, hearing about of Cubs fans who have been waiting generationally for the moment that you and your teammates helped deliver. What's the best story you've heard of somebody who's come up to you and say, oh, my gosh, my mom, my dad, my grandfather, my grandmother, et cetera, et cetera?
And my family told me one that they heard one where this guy drove all the way from South Carolina to Indiana, where his dad was buried. And I guess he said to his son, whenever the Cubs play in the World Series, I want to listen to it with you. And I guess he bought a bottle of champagne, and if they were the one, they were supposed to drink it together. And so I guess he listened to all the games right by the
grave.
The grave, and they won, and he toasted it, and that was one that was really crazy.
I mean, we're just showing the shots at Grant Park right now. That was insane on Friday. Insane.
Yeah, Grant Park was unbelievable. I mean, think about being on stage and you can't see the end of people. It's like you're playing at Woodstock. It's like, holy cow, like this is crazy. And then even on the buses, I mean, going through the streets, people are up on telephone poles, everything, this getting after it. It was so much fun.
Did anybody want to body surf it? Did anybody think of doing something like that?
We were joking about it up on stage. We're like, if we were to body surf, I bet you we could get all the way back to Wrigley.
Well, I can't wait to talk to David Ross too. It's just, I mean, everybody, because you're one of the young kids, obviously, right? You and Bryant and Baez, Addison Russell. We can go on and on and on about that and about how you're set up for the future. But the fact that David Ross got in the game, he homered in Game 7, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. What did it mean to you guys to watch him do what he did and end it the way he could?
Man, he was such an important part to our team, one of the most important people on our team. He brings it every day to the clubhouse. He makes sure everyone's locked in, and he wants everyone to hold each other accountable, and that even means other people holding him accountable too. And for him to have the success he did in the World Series and to hit that home run and go out as a champion, we can't ask of anything better for him. I remember I told him after the game, I would always joke with him earlier in the year. I'd be like, hey, if you hit 10 home runs, you got to come back next year. I said, if you hit double-digit home runs, you got to come back next year. I said, okay. So he hits 11 this year in the regular season. I'm like, you got to come back. And then after the World Series, I went right to him. I said, why are you still here? You need to go home. You're out of champion. You're out of champion, man. That's unbelievable. But I wish him all the best. He's going to have a long career in this game still whenever he wants to. So, we wish him all the best in whatever he does. He was a great mentor to me. I love him. One of the best people ever.
Couple more minutes with Kyle Schwarber of the Cubs here on the Rich Eisen Show. What did Hayward say during that rain delay? So much has been made of the speech that he delivered to you guys.
Yeah, he just wanted to make sure that we were on the same page. I mean, the momentum just shifted over to Cleveland's side. After the big home run by Rajai Davis, and then there was a little sign of not panic but unsureness, I would say. And then the rain delay happens, and we want to get everyone into the clubhouse. And so we take him to the weight room, and he starts, and he just wanted to make sure that we were on the same page. It was just like, why would we change right now? We're a good team. We faced adversity. It's hit us in the face plenty of times. We won 103 games. We're the best team in baseball. Why change now? Keep doing what we're doing. We'll be fine. We're a good baseball team. We'll figure it out. We got a deep bullpen. We got everything. If this game keeps going, but if we keep doing what we're supposed to do, this game will end very shortly.
And then as a member of the NFL media group, as the host of NFL Network, I'm mandated to ask you a couple of questions on this sport. Kyle, you look like you could play football. You're from Ohio. Did you ever think about that? Did you ever try it?
Yeah, my football coach said I would have had more offers than baseball. So,
doing what? What'd you play?
Linebacker.
You do look like you could come downhill and hit somebody, Kyle. I got to be honest with you.
I tell you, I love meeting someone in the hole. That was one of the best feelings. I hated practice, but if you put me out there on a Friday night, I was a different person.
Mm-hmm. You put on that eye black and in that sport in a different story, huh?
Oh man, I'll tell you, those are some memories, man. Just going out there competing and hitting people. Like, come on, who doesn't like that?
And then last one, you were in the Arizona Fall League. Did you see a certain left-handed throwing quarterback?
I did not.
You did not? Because I would have thought that would have been the inspiration. That would have been the final inspiration for you to.
Jesus.
I think that's what Tim said.
Yeah. Sorry.
Hey, Kyle. Thanks very much here on the show. What do you got here, Law? Oh, ATI physical therapy. That's what you're here also to talk about. You mentioned it. So give him a little pop here, Kyle.
This ATI physical therapy, they're big sponsors of the Cubs. They're one of the fastest growing therapy clinics. They're great. They're great people. I recommend if someone out there has an injury and you haven't heard of them, go look them up. Go to the website. Go to wherever. They took care of me, and they're great people. They're really personal. They'll take care of you too. So just go check it out.
Congrats, Kyle. Way to go, man! Coming back, doing what you did with your teammates. I know so many Cubs fans that really would want through me to say to you, thank you.
I appreciate it, guys. It was a lot of fun.
Same here.
Thank you guys for having me on.
You bet. Coming to Los Angeles. Come on in studio. That's Kyle Schwarber at KSchwarb12 here on The Rich Eisen Show.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.